Hello everyone, I am a full-stack developer working at JDK Outstanding Technologies. My name is Benjamin Martinez, and today we are going to be talking about the reusable components. In this project, we are going to be creating the navigation component, the card component, and we're going to be using the Astro framework. We are going to be able to navigate through these options, and we're going to have different pages. We are going to see what are the advantages of creating reusable components. So first of all, we can go to the Astro documentation. We will go to the installation and setup option. And here we will find this start command. We can copy this command and we will go to our Visual Studio Code. We will go to view and then we're gonna open a new terminal. Once in the terminal, we will paste our command, then we can run this. It's going to ask us for the name of the project. I want to include sample files so we can have a template to get started. We're planning to use TypeScript so we can have the types in the JavaScript. Later, we will see that this is a great advantage when we work with a component-based structure. We will go strict mode. We will install all dependencies. I do not want a Git repository this time because I do not expect this project to grow a lot. And then it's installing everything we need. And here we are. The next we want to do is to go to the installation folder. And here we have all the files of our project. We have the source directory where we have the main file. We have the components folder. This will contain all the components that we will be creating today. We have the pages folder. We can create more pages here as well. So the next you want to do is to run the project. You can do that by running npm run dev. You can visit the project by visiting this localhost. This is the welcome template from Astro. As you can see here, we have some cards already, but we don't want to use them because we want to build our own. So I'm gonna be cleaning the pages a little bit. Here we have some styles and some components, which I'm going to remove right now. We don't want any of this styling because we want to build. I'm going to remove all these styles in the existing card component, and I'm going to remove the component itself. Actually, we are going to use this file, but we are going to rebuild it from zero so we can see how it's built and understand every part of the component. I want to clean the layout as well, because here we have some global styles. We will save our changes and we will see that we have an empty website to start working on. The next thing I want to do is to use Bootstrap, so we don't need to build everything from scratch. The first thing I need to do is to import the Bootstrap library. We can achieve this by copying this CDN. I will do this that way because I think it's the fastest way, and it's going to work for us in this example. This is the layout for our websites. Everything of what you can find here is going to be present in every page that we create. So let's go to our index. The index is the main page. This is the home page. The first thing I want to do is to create a navigation bar. So let's go to Bootstrap documentation and let's look for a navbar component. Here's the navbar component. This is how it's looking right now. We're going to customize it for us, but I'm going to copy the HTML. Let's create a navbar and let's paste all this code here. This is going to be our drinks page. And let's import it in our layout so we can see them in every page where we import the layout component. We will import it from components navbar.astro, and here's the import statement. So here we have our navigation bar. So let's focus on the card component, which is going to be our customized component. Let's go to our card component. These three dots means that we can separate the JavaScript from the HTML. In the JavaScript, we want to define what properties is our component going to have. Let's go to Bootstrap and let's look for a card component. This is the card component. As we can see, it has an image. a title, a description, and a button. We can copy the code of the components here, and then we can go to Visual Studio. We can paste our HTML. The first thing we're gonna need is a title. So, how is it going to work? Let's save this component and let's try to use them in one of our pages. Our card component is going to be imported from the index page or from the home page. Here is the import. It's going to import card from components in the cards.astro file. We can use this card component like if it was an HTML tag. If you see, we have an error because it's asking for the information or the data that we want to inject to the component. Let's try to render this like that. As we can see, here we have the card components, but we do not have an image, so let's try to customize it. Let's go to our card component and let's see. First of all, we need a title. So these properties are all the data that we're going to inject to the component. This is the data that the component receives. First, a title. This is going to be a string. If we want to put any other value that is not a string, like a boolean or a number, it is not going to work. Or at least it's going to throw an error. So we will go here and instead of this text, we will receive the title parameter. What comes in the title is going to be set here. Then we will remove the description and we will do the same. But we receive in this case the body parameter. I'm going to call it description. We're going to use this description in the description field. Then we will need the button text. So I'm going to use it here. Then we need the image source. So I'm going to call it like image URL. We need to declare the variable here. Also, we are going to be needing what or where do we want to go when we click on this button. That's the href attribute. So we're going to receive the button URL. So we have all this data. All this data needs to come from the page where we imported the card. If you see the card here, it's throwing an error because it's missing the following properties from types props: title, description, button text, button URL, and image URL. We need to set a title. For example, title equals the best. Then it needs more data. If we save this, we will see in the browser, we have the card and we have the title. So let's set the rest of the data. We can add a description. So we will go to Wikipedia. Maybe we can steal some data from here. Paste it in the description field. Let's organize our code so it looks a little bit more clean. And if we reload the page, we will see that we already have the title and our description. Let's complete the rest of the fields. We need an image, so I'm going to go to Google and copy the image link. Let's see what else do we need. We need the image URL. I'm setting here is going to go to the card component. If we see the card component receives the image URL of type string, this image URL is declared here, and the source attribute is using the image URL. And this has a value of the URL of the image that we want to use. So let's go to the home page. And here we go. We have the image working and we only need the button. Let's add it quickly. For the button text, we're going to set learn more. And for the URL, we can send the user to the Wikipedia. So now we have the content here. Learn more. Let's go to our card component. I want this button to open a new tab. So this target attribute with the blank value will help us to go in a new tab. Click this button, we're going to be redirected to the Wikipedia, to the coffee page. And here we have our first card component. Let's customize it a little bit better. For example, let's add the main tag. Let's add a container class. So now we have some spacing here. Let's add some spacing at the top. We will go to our navbar component. We will add a margin button too. There we go. Here we have some spacing and now it's looking better. Let's customize our navbar component. Have the coffee page, which is going to be the home. Then we have a wine page, which is going to redirect us to a new page that we are going to create at this moment. Let's go to the pages folder. And if we create a new file here, we're going to be able to create a new page. For this new page, we're going to import the same layout and card components. So let's copy and paste them here. We are going to need to use the 3-. So Astro will know that what is in the middle of them is JavaScript and everything outside of them is HTML. Let's copy the same structure because we're going to be using almost the same. If we go to our page and we click on the wine button, it's going to redirect us to the wine page. It only contains the navbar, but it doesn't have any content yet. Let's go and let's add some content here. If we wanted to add another card, it will not be really nice to write all this HTML again. So we just import the card component and we add a new content here, the best wine, and then we can hopefully go to Wikipedia and we can steal some content from here again. Then we will go to our card component. We will add the new content here. We save that. We will see that in the wine page, we have the new title. If we go to coffee, we have the coffee title and the coffee description. Let's continue customizing this new card component. We can go to Google and look for a wine image for this. I'm going to be using this image, so I'm going to copy the image link again, and I'm going to paste it in the URL field. I am also going to copy the wine URL, and I'm going to paste it here. If we go again to our project, we will see that we have different components. Let's see that we want another card here. So let's duplicate this component. And let's see what happens. We have another card here, but let's use flex so they are in a row. And let's add some spacing around them. There we go. Let's change the image with our second component. And there we go. We have two card components for the wine in this page, and we have one card component for the coffee in this page. And as you can see, we're not copying and pasting the HTML everywhere. We're just calling the card component. We send the parameters, we send the values, and the card component is going to take care of receiving those parameters and injecting those values where we want to display them. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. If you want to keep learning, please subscribe to this channel. And thank you. See you next time.